Hey, I'm Rob Johnson and welcome to the Legacy Gentleman channel. Today, I'm going to be reacting to a Jesse Lee Peterson video. If you don't know, Jesse Lee Peterson is a very controversial media figure. He has a radio show, a TV show on the internet, and he's also a preacher in a church. And what he's known for is really being a conservative, but also saying a bunch of things that even make me scratch my head sometimes. He's also the CEO and founder of the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny, which seeks to rebuild a family by rebuilding men, which is something at Legacy Gentleman we can get 100% behind. So I'm going to go over this video. It's him sitting down at what I'm pretty sure is his church, and he's taking some Q&As, he's answering questions for people. And you get this very, very weird, not really a question, just statement from a guy. Just go through it and I'll be commenting on it and we'll stop and talk about it. So that's what we're going to do.
Yes, sir.
I have a question about the age thing. I was talking with my son on the phone and I said, look, son, I'm having problems with work. And he goes, oh, Dad, you know, I'm so disappointed in you. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, get your crap together, Dad.
Firstly, really weird start off. You call your son and be like, I'm having problems? I mean, that's not really how parenting should be working. But the title of the video should be, my son told me to get my crap together. That is not something that you want to ever be in a position to hear from your child, especially if you're not somebody who's getting over a drug problem or a criminal problem. Like, this is just a man who is having problems at work. And so his son is telling him to get his crap together. Let's see how the rest of this video goes.
And I was like, yeah. He goes, Dad, you know what's going to happen, right? I goes, like what? He goes, Dad, you only got 20 more years. Okay, you're going to be dead in 20 years.
20 years?
Okay, you got to get going. I goes, seriously? I know I'm a senior. And he goes, yeah, Dad, you're going to be dead in 20 years. You got the next 20 years. It goes, you know, do the job. You probably shouldn't be a restaurant server. Because
yeah, you should not be a restaurant server. I think even past watch this video, he's more shocked with the you'll be dead in 20 years than Dad, get your crap together. It's just, you know, you can't, I'm glad we can't see this guy because he should be embarrassed, and I hate to see what he actually looks like, even though we all probably have a mental picture of him. But look, this is just not where you want to be as a man.
You know, you're pretty good with your mouth. I goes, but the mouth can get you in trouble too. So it's like, do something else, Dad, because you've been, since your 20s to right now, senior time, goes, you've been there in the restaurant business. That is not your gift, Dad.
You've been in the restaurant business since your 20s, and that's not your gift, Dad. Like I said, this is amazing to hear a 20-year-old saying this to his father. That's what a father who's a senior citizen should be saying to his 20-year-old child.
The wrong career. Get out of it as soon as possible.
Your point is what?
My point is that he said I was going to be dead in 20 years.
His point is that his son said he'd be dead in 20 years. There's a whole bunch of other problems in this scenario. Let's see how Jesse handles this.
So what is it like knowing that in your mind you're going to be dead in 24 years, however you say?
I got to get busy.
And so why
I got to get busy and leave a legacy. You know, don't be like, you know.
I just thought this part is really funny because he's trying to get down to something deep, and he's over talking him. He's interrupting him and saying nothing.
Dad, nobody remembers.
So stay with me.
Yeah.
So you got to leave a legacy.
A legacy, Legacy.
For who?
For my future kids or my son.
Why?
Because otherwise, you know, that I'll just fade into oblivion.
Why? And so?
Look at this. Why leave a legacy? So you don't fade into obscurity? So you can be remembered? No. That's why you haven't left a legacy. A legacy that you're leaving, it's important because you want to advance the futures of your family of your nation, of your community. You want us to, as a human race, to keep moving forward. That's why it's important to leave a legacy. You want everybody to be getting better. You are doing your part to make the world better for the future. That's why a legacy is important. Not so you be remembered. That's just short thinking and really just ego talk. Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Why is that important? You guys, you got to have a better answer than that. And it's not about just ego. Let's see how it goes.
I don't want to be one of 8 billion.
Why not?
I'd rather not.
Why?
Because
It's so important that you be remembered?
because
Do you really have an answer for that? Do you have an answer to why is it so important that you be remembered? Well, let me give you a hint if you haven't thought about this. God has given you a purpose. You're here for a reason, and you need to accomplish that purpose. And within the sphere of influence of your purpose, you'll be remembered. You'll have left a legacy that'll continue on if you're within God's purpose for your life.
okay,
Why is it so important to you that you think you need to be remembered?
because I'm shocked that my dad died at 68 and nobody remembers him.
But
And
why
then my
do you
brother
think-
died at
Hey,
49
come back.
and nobody
You're
remembers
repeating
him.
yourself. Why is it important that you should be remembered? Who cares? Why do you want somebody to remember you?
For my family.
Why?
Because otherwise I'm just a blip in the family tree.
What good?
Like I said, this guy just doesn't have an answer for this, I think, very simple question. Why is it important to leave a legacy?
What is it like having a son and you're always going to your son with your problems? What's that like for you? Think about that for a minute. Take a breath.
He's 20 years old. He just talked to me about it.
Take a breath.
Okay.
What is it like going to your son with your problems? What good is that doing him?
But this gets into the legacy he's actually leaving for his son that I don't even know if the guy gets it. Anyway, let's keep it going.
You're the father, he's the son. Why do you talk to him about your problems?
Definitely.
Because I'm beta?
You saying because you're beta?
Yeah, because I'm a beta male, I guess.
See, that's just an excuse that is not taking responsibility. Even kind of sounds like he's not even taking it serious, that he's legitimately damaging his child. That 20-year-old is going to be doing the same thing. He hasn't showed him the right example, and that's going to still set him up for not success, just like the father's not set up for success. Let's see what else happens.
And why would you want your son to know you're a beta male?
He thinks I can do better, but he's so disappointed.
No.
Like
Why
dad
do
always
you-
disappoints.
No. Right. Why would
D&D.
you want to give that image to your son?
See, why would you want to give that image? Why would you want to give that legacy to your son?
I've already given that image.
Why continue it?
Boy,
I can continue it by improving.
And how is that improving his life?
how is that improving his life, which is the goal of parents? You want your children to have a better life than you. How is he improving his child's life? By going to him with problems. This is an example of bad parenting because of bad parenting. This is an example of a man not being a man, not leading, not taking charge, not having ambition.
What good is it doing your son to hear his father complaining about life?
Look, it's a very simple question with a very easy answer. It's not. And the dad doesn't want to say it's not doing him any good because it puts the responsibility back on the father, which he seems to have a real problem with taking responsibility. Sometimes he gives it lip service, I can do better, I need to do better, and everything else after that, he's talking about not taking the responsibility.
He's disappointed in me.
And you like that, huh?
No, I don't.
Then why you keep dumping on him your problem?
Because he sees it with his own eyes.
But why do you keep dumping on him with the problem?
Because he asks me questions and I answer honestly.
Amazing. And so you're happy to be dumping failure on your son?
dumping failure on your son. That's what he's doing. He really is. He's dumping failure on his son. Just keep
What
repeating
is that doing for him to get better, knowing that his father is weak and always complaining?
Because I think it motivates him. I mean, I'm not trying to, but I guess a negative motivation. He's like,
Negative motivation.
I mean, holy crap, my dad's a failure. I can't be like that.
So silly.
But he has no other choice. Let me ask you this, and then we're
Wait a second, what do you mean he has no choice?
Let's say you.
See, like this, I love this part. He says, your son has no choice but to be a failure. And he's like, what does he mean by that? But it's 100% true. His dad, his model, his role model is a failure. The son is going to be that type of failure because that's all that's been modeled to him. And as men, we have to be careful about the example we model to our children, especially boys who are going to want to be like their fathers. And I really believe the father knows that this is the path that his son is going to go down. And that's partially the issue he's having here. So let's see if we can wrap this up.
Look to Christ, right? You believe in Jesus, right?
Yeah, of course.
And would you believe in Jesus if he was all beta, and every time you saw him, oh, I talked to this woman at work and I told her my business, Christ, I'm getting fired, now my hours are cut, oh, my mother died and my dad had a bad reputation, my brother died and now me, would you still respect Christ?
No, because he's a loser.
And so how do you expect your son to respect you?
Well, he knows I'm a loser.
And you okay with that?
No, I'm not.
Then why don't you cut it out?
It's that simple. You're being a loser. You know you're being a loser. You don't want to be that to your son. You don't want to be that. Stop being a loser. But this guy, it's really simple for him. All he has to do is stop complaining to his child. And look, this is a very easy and very specific example, but look, you know what the problem is. Stop doing it.
Because I gotta do more acting and less complaining, I guess.
Why don't you cut it out? Stop complaining.
Yeah,
Okay, that's interesting.
it's interesting.
Because
not a thing to do.
When he asks me questions.
No, it's not. You know,
Just another excuse.
You ask him because you've always presented weakness.
Yeah.
He had no other image of you. You worse than his mother.
Worse than his mother.
Oh, his mom's a loser too.
No, you're a loser. You're worse than his mother.
Worse.
Yeah, it
He
should be an
had
example.
no image of you from birth until now of complaining. Never do you come along and all is well. He doesn't
Ooh.
know about you overcoming anything, moving to, as this young man was saying, moving up the ladder of life. He doesn't know you that way.
Well, he knew me in my last job until I screwed up.
He just knows you as a complainer.
What's that?
And he just knows you as a complainer. And you're happy about that.
Because I haven't found my gift in life.
Like I said, this guy just has excuses, and he knows what he's saying is right. That he's just, black cloud of doom everywhere he goes, and he has excuses for himself for not achieving. And nobody is buying it, not even that man who's saying it. So that was Jesse Lee Peterson talking to a man about leaving a legacy. And once again, you saw this guy, he had a lot of excuses for why he wasn't doing stuff. And really, the problem was that broken relationship as a man to his son. Are we always going to people with problems? Are we going to people with positivity? Do we have a plan and goal for our life that we're working toward? Are we living that masculine leadership that the family, the community, and the world needs? A lot of us might not be doing that, but as long as there's still breath in your lungs and strength in your body, you got an opportunity to change it. You have an opportunity to make it better because you're here on earth with a purpose, and you can still accomplish that purpose as long as you're alive. And then boom, once you accomplish that purpose, that's your legacy you should be leaving. That God-driven purpose for legacy is what you're going to be known for. So you can do it. Let's get at it. So firstly, thanks for stopping by the Legacy Gentleman channel. And really, go check out Jesse Lee Peterson. If you're like me, you won't agree with everything he says, but hey, he has some wisdom in the things he's saying. He's coming from a Christian perspective. Hey, spit out the bone, eat the meat, which is what Kevin Samuels used to always say. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to this channel. And until next time, go be legendary.